I'm Brent Leary.
I'm Paul Greenberg.
We are the CRM players, and for another year, we are the CRM players.
We made it. This is year what? 17?
Well, it's funny you should say that because
That's
I
tomorrow.
have this is the official way.
20.
I just remember it.
Yes, that was actually the first public reference to it.
Yeah.
We
So
did it.
that was January 26, 2009. So
Yeah.
in a few short weeks, man, somebody's calling me right now. How dare they? A few short weeks, we will be at year 17.
That is amazing.
It
And
really
just think,
is.
it was only 2 years ago we were talking about year 15.
Because we didn't know we were that close to year 16.
No, that was funny. Celebrate the 15th anniversary on year 16. This year, I guess for IRL 2026, we'll just jump it up to 17.
So, wow, another year. We're still here. I don't know what else to say other
Let's
than
have
that.
a beer.
Let's have a beer. Oh, well, it does rhyme at least.
That's exactly where I was going.
But guess what? Look
What?
who's here starting the year off right.
Yay!
Let's see, what is he saying there? Brent asked me to reach deeper into my language bag. I did ask him to do that. So here we go. Your wish is my command, and
Nice.
I don't
Man,
know
you
what
are
the
getting
hell.
good. Well, that's right. See, the problem is it's a Cyrillic language, which is why you're seeing the Cyrillic alphabet there. That's what that is, which means it could be Russian, but it could be there's a million dialects that use it, right?
Wait a
So
minute.
I'll go with the basic
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's a surreal language.
Cyrillic. Crylic. I
Thought
think it stands for Cyril, who I believe became a saint
Cyril
at
de
some point.
Bergerac.
Yeah, Cyril. That was Cyrano de
Oh,
Bergerac.
Cyranos.
Right. Yeah. So I think I'll say Russian only because that's the common one. But the tricky part, that's one place I can't distinguish. Like I could not tell you the difference between Russian and
Uh-oh. That's not good.
what
Uh,
was that?
I don't know. Now it's all right. Now you're fully back.
Yeah, you were gone too. Both of us went. Um,
That's weird.
yeah, it was very weird. So yeah, so I'm gonna say Russian. That's all I can say because again, I do not know the difference between. I can't transliterate it into something in the normal Roman language. So I can't speak to a language difference.
Ooh, Bob is giving you a clue, or
It
is he
begins with
giving?
an M. Now I wonder how he knows that. If without Google Translate, unless he speaks multiple Eastern European Cyrillic alphabet based languages.
Well, Bob is kind of surreal when you think about things. Russian and freezing.
Russian is what I'm saying, though.
What the hell is freezing?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to think. If M is like what he's talking about exactly when it says it begins with an M. I mean, I can think of
from the Cold
languages,
War.
but like I can think of Montenegrin, but that's actually more Greek than Cyrillic.
All right, Sven, we'll wait on you to.
I can only say Russian because I can't read Cyrillic.
Oh, wait a minute. Sven is calling Bob out for using Google.
Well, look, it's possible Bob knows, but that means he has to be able to read Cyrillic.
Guess what? But you were wrong. Mongolian.
Oh, wow. And that's amazing.
He reached deep into his bag like I asked him to.
It is Cyrillic. Holy. That is Cyrillic, though. And I did not. The interesting thing is, I did not know that Mongolian used the Cyrillic alphabet. So this is that's a good one, Sven. That's a great one. That might be the number one you've ever done. It's that good. It is that good.
I asked him. He's got a deep bag.
Well, normally, even if I don't get it, I don't learn something particularly new, right? I just didn't get it. This one, I learned something entirely new besides, which is that Mongolian's alphabet is that Cyrillic, I guess, offshoot.
Yeah, you know what? It's all Cyrillic to me. So
Yeah, da, 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 yeah, da, 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 da.
Anyway, we've been doing this for wow since 2009. So when we started, did you know that we were actually starting and bringing the ads as part of the start?
I didn't even know we'd make it to the second episode, so no.
Okay, I was just trying
I
to figure
knew
out.
we had a good time. Do you remember anything about, well, I mean, Fen, thank you. That was good. That one really challenging. I like that one. I only can tag the alphabet, but do you remember who was the first one we ever did? I don't. Was it just us? I know it was audio. We were podcasting, but was it just you and me, or did we have a guest, or who was our first guest ever?
Why do I want to say first guest ever was either Greg Gianforte or I don't even know who or Anil Dash.
No, well, because you're thinking about
Sea Level SmackDown was for
yeah, Sea Level SmackDown, and then Neil beat us, and Greg had the shortest possible loss ever. He literally spent 1 second before he gave himself away. As he talked about business when you were supposed to go, what was it? You had to go 5 minutes without saying a word, no matter what questions I asked you. First question I asked him, he literally answered it, basically blew it by telling us about business.
I remember when we were
And Neil beat us though, and he was the first one to beat us.
yeah, but I remember we went to an SAP event and we did a CRM Players there. And the only name that like I kind of remember from all that, and I don't even remember his last name at the moment. First, I think his first name was John.
Oh yeah, Burton. It was John Burton. We did that was one of the first recorded videos we ever did. Remember, Margot set it up, and they set up cameras in the back of the room for us.
Yep.
Yeah, and we sat in the front on the chairs, and that was John Burton. And he came out, and I was making fun of his Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, he had a Hawaiian shirt on.
Yeah, that was John Burton. John's
was,
awesome. He's retired from all this now. He's doing other stuff.
And we're still here. I mean,
I know. Stump's long gone. He's just doing his thing.
See, I get kind of confused because around the same time, I just don't know if it was before or after we went to HubSpot's brand new corporate headquarters. And remember, Brian Halligan took us on this tour of all the conference rooms that they were named after,
there was the one thing we did not like about HubSpot.
Yeah. They were all named after Boston sports places.
Yeah, Revolution was one I remember.
Yeah. And we did a CRM Playaz episode, and I know you remember because you broke out the CRM at the Speed of Light book. And
alternate uses of CRM.
Yeah.
Alternate uses of CRM Speed Light. We did step aerobics. We did curls with the book. And we did we commented on how it could probably be used to replace bricks in masonry.
Yes.
Those three things were alternate uses.
So I don't know which came first, but I believe it was all in 2009.
Yes.
And so either one of those. And then, of course, the thing that the infamous lost episodes.
6 of them.
With our buddy David Alston, who at the time, that must have been around the same time period because they hadn't been bought by Salesforce yet.
Yeah, not yet. You're right.
So that could have been 2009 too. I mean, all that kind of sounds about right.
Yeah, and so it was our first. We were busy, although those 6 episodes were all audio.
Yes, that was before all the rise of the video. There was no live streaming of video then back then.
We did pre-recorded podcasts, and our first 6 episodes were immediately lost by us.
I don't even remember what the tool I was using to post that stuff. Oh, I know one thing. I was using Box.com as the back end to host all the videos. I mean, all the audio. Matter of fact, I don't even remember if I got all the audios or not. So that's probably all lost in space.
I'm wondering. I have this. I remember when I had that P Green blog.
Yep.
I used to post stuff on there like that.
Well, I used to
No,
that was on TypePad. I don't even know if that's still around.
oh yeah, you're right. That was type in.
And
Well,
that's
I
how we got.
transferred
Remember,
it.
TypePad was brought to. That was the technology. 6apart was the company. Anil and I somehow, I don't even know how I came across Anil or how they came across me, but we got connected. And I really liked those people over there, and they got us connected to Anil because he was like their I don't think they call him this, but he was like their evangelist.
Yes, he was.
And so I got a chance to hang out, and then I got us all connected, and he's a big Prince fan, and that's one of the reasons why I really, hit it off.
Immediately.
But yeah, so we had some interesting early kind of things.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I'm going to try to see if I can find and see if by any, random chance I post. I also used to post video audio on ZDNet in the early days, and we're announcing it when I'm on ZDNet in 2009. So chances are I might have posted some of the audio episodes on there. The problem is, of course, they're archived, and I don't know how much access I have directly to them anymore.
Well, our very first real foray into video was with our late great friend Robin Carey.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was amazing.
Who
Dean Halstead from Microsoft.
Yeah. Now that is still out there. That's on the
Yes.
Playaz YouTube channel.
That is awesome for people to watch that, because needless to say, the impact that Police Squad and Naked Gun had on us is very evident.
Absolutely. And then how could we forget the rock stars of social CRM?
Yep. That one was Radiant 6.
Yeah, they were still Radiant 6. It wasn't a part of the Enterprise 2.0 thing, but it was like adjacent to, I guess.
Yeah, that evening.
Yeah, and then you remember who? So the things that I remember the most about that, it was me, you, Michael Thomas, and Frank. What is Frank? Eliason. And at the time, me and Michael were still partners in CRM Essentials.
Yep.
So that was a long time ago.
And then David Olson, if you remember, during the day, he was dressed in a suit, and at night, he was dressed like a goth, right? And that was the day, by the way, I kind of, for the first time, really became friends with Ray Wang. Right. Was that night. And early the next morning.
But the thing that really stood out to me about that whole thing,
I know exactly where you're going,
was
Chris.
What's his last name? Chris.
I'm blocking it.
Anyway, he was Brogan. Chris Brogan.
That's right.
And he was like, excuse me. He was like the social media star of stars at the time.
Yeah, at the time.
Along with like Brian Solis and
like
the first kind of social media superstars.
Right. The first like social media, like people who were trying to be business influencers as opposed to just influencers of.
Well, I don't even remember the term influencer.
No, it wasn't being used, but it was more that kind of thing. More
Yeah.
that kind of things. They want to impact business, not just impact.
Right.
Yeah.
And so Chris Brogan, I guess he's still active. I
haven't seen anything.
He was omnipresent back then. I mean,
remember he was wearing camouflage too.
He was running around trying to be like a Flavor Flav.
Yeah.
Where it was really interesting. So that's one of the things I really remember about that.
Me too.
But anyway, yeah, that's been so long ago.
I know. There was a lot of fun. I have to say.
No, there was a lot of fun. And guess what? We finally decided after X amount of years of fun at other events or virtual, and we finally did it. We finally did IRL 20. Actually, what did we call it? IRL 15 or was it 25? Because
we did call it 2025
because it was the celebration of 15 years of CRM Playaz, and of course, in only the fashion that we can do it. We did that during year 16, but But
Very
we literally almost did it to the date because it was, well, the article said January 26th, I
six.
believe.
Yeah.
Let me go back.
We announced it publicly. 26.
January 26th. And we did IRL 2025 on January 22nd. So we almost literally were a full year behind. We were celebrating the 15 years of CRM Playaz going into the 16th year. And that was really supposed to be a one-off. I don't know how many people realize it was one-off. And what we said, if we're ever gonna do something, it better be now, and we'll do it. We'll make it a party or a celebration or something like that. And a funny thing happened on the way to that supposedly one and done. And I'm not talking about the weather that day.
No,
we don't really want to talk about that.
No.
Nope. People seem to like it. I mean, it was like a Sally Field moment for us. They liked it. They really, really liked it.
it was amazing. I mean, it was actually amazing. I still, the two comments that kind of characterized the whole thing to me were Silvana's comment when she flew in from Madrid, and she actually thought it was not a conference. She thought it was a community gathering that had, and it turned out it had a conference too. Right. And she basically said that. She said, "Oh, I thought this was a gathering of the community." And keep in mind, CX, CRM, the customer facing universe that we're in, it's the only one that kind of has I'll call it institutionalized, meaning you can actually identify it as a community. I've looked into it. I actually looked into it. I spent time in this, looking into like supply chain and ERP. And it's not that there isn't friendships and networks and that, but it's nothing like what we have. Nothing. And there really is. That's from really digging in to see if that actually existed elsewhere in the B2B world. And there's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it.
You know why? You know why there was nothing like it is because we actually celebrated Alan Berkson's 60th birthday.
With a donut tower. He was so surprised. I don't know if he ate any of the donuts though. He blew out the candles.
He was so overjoyed that the Jets decided.
Never mind.
Nah, I won't do that to him. By the way, he's already signed up. He got his invite and he's coming, Alan. And we're probably gonna have some other things around Alan and his buddy Jeff Gomez.
Yep.
As I think they have something they're launching or
something
like that. So we got to talk to them about that.
Yes.
But anyway, guess what we're gonna do?
What?
Well, we didn't want to be accused of like disappointing people.
You mean not disappointing me?
Well, I mean, quite honestly, I don't mind disappointing people, but in this instance, we said, all right, we had fun too. So it's not like we're doing this because we just want to please other people. We actually did it immediately for us. And so we are, and I think we announced it some couple weeks ago before the holidays.
Yeah.
So we're doing it again
with a much cooler background this time.
I have to admit, I really love the color scheme here.
I do too. I think it's awesome.
So
L. Wheeler
coming back to Atlanta, GA, specifically Buckhead, even more specifically the Atlanta Tech Village, March 12th. Now that's the full day event. Previous on the March 11th, we have our little opening session, but we also or a reception. I don't, not a session, reception. But we may be having a little bit of stuff happen before. Do you want to tease that a bit?
Yeah. So I'll just put it this way. As you know, one of the PPN network shows is done with me and gaming industry mogul.
He's a mogul? I didn't know he's a mogul.
I made that up. Todd Harris. And Todd he and I do a show called Game On. And it's basically bringing the lessons of the PC and video gaming world and kind of the B2C mindset to some degree to the B2B world and what it looks like, and kind of we're also talking about games. Well, I'll say this. All I'll say is his studio, which is also a venue, happens to be a couple of miles away from ATV. I'm not going to say any more about it now, but just think, you got some time on the 11th. You may get to meet Todd where he lives, so to speak. And it'll be really interesting if you're a gamer in any way, shape, or form.
Do you have to be in good shape?
No, if you were, I would definitely not be there.
Nah.
Right. So I'm a gamer, but I'm not that great at it. I'm good at one game.
And we also are able to, because I think he already did it on the last time he was with us, tease one of the segments or shows or sessions, I guess. Actually, it's a kind of a segment in a session.
Yes.
Because the one and only the Kango kid. Now, a lot of people probably don't know what I'm referring to.
Yeah.
But Dr. Michael Wu, our AI guru for like getting close to 2 decades now. When all these other so-called AI kings and queens and all that, everybody was proclaiming themselves to be the one to go to when it comes to AI. He was our actual AI go-to person well before the ChatGPT era started.
Yes.
So he's going to be doing a session. I don't know what I'm saying. Segment session. He'll be on stage. And I love how he's teased us with a bit of a title around what AI can learn from lunatics.
That is literally what the title is. What can you, in a world of AI, what can we learn from the lunatics?
I'm guessing a lot.
Yeah, I'm guessing Michael will make it clear. Then me and Kenny Lauer are going to do something under the auspices of EWPK on Style Matters. And I'm not going to tell you any more than that, mostly because I can't, because I don't know what we're doing yet. But I do have an idea of where it can go. And Kenny and I are designing something, although Kenny will be more responsible for design than me. I'll be more focused on the material.
Like burlap?
Well, you never know. As I said, unless you can. Well, let me put it this way: probably not burlap, unless you really think that's still in style, right? Which has been since 1950.
What about the leisure suits? Could
yeah,
them back?
We'll have a zoot suit.
Oh man,
bringing back the zoot suit.
That might cause a riot.
And there you go, the zoot suit riots. And then what's the name of those shoes that were 2 colors, white, but they had like white and black?
What I see, I
you know what I mean though, right?
The Stacey Adams shoes, but I don't know.
Yeah, what do they call those shoes? The white and black shoes.
Two-tone?
Bring them back too. What?
Two-tone? I don't know.
No. They have an actual name, like,
patent leather platform.
No. No, they literally were like they were, the shoe was top was white. The front part
all I know is those
white again.
They called them Stacey Adams. No. That's what they called them back in the day.
There's an actual name for it from the 50s. I don't remember what it is though.
Wow.
Saddle shoes.
Damn, it sounds like what
cowboys saddle shoes. Well, they kind of look like a saddle. If you look at the black part, kind of sits over the 2 white parts. It's like it looks like that. Steve Miranda wears saddle shoes.
Well, we didn't get a chance to ask him that, but anyway, keep it. If you did, check your inbox, because we have sent out a couple of blasts. This is a kind of an invite only thing. So if you look, and you might have to go look at your spam folder or whatever, but we did send out a batch. If you were on that and you got it, let us know if you want to come, because we got other people who are really interested in coming, but we wanted to give the first crack at this to the folks who attended last year and a few other folks that we like.
Yeah, the other side is people who are watching, or who somehow hear this in some way. If you're new to the community, you're welcome to come. This is a good way to meet the people who have been there, done that for a long time. And it's very productive. It's from a networking standpoint, it's great. It's a lot of fun. The content, at least according to the attendees from last year, thought it was really good. And the one thing I will reemphasize, and you'll hear me emphasize it when we're there again, this is not a conference that talks about anything measured with numbers. right? This is a right brain conference. There's not ROI talk and EBITDA talk and profitability talk and metrics and benchmarks and KPI talk. That's not what we talk about. We will be talking about data, I'm sure, at some point because it's helpful. And we'll talk about AI, I'm sure, obviously, but Michael's definitely talking about it. But it's all in the service of human beings and their right brain and how that impacts business. And also just there to have a good time.
I'm there to talk about the Rams, but
Okay.
in Prince, that I'm sure I'll be able to fit
Put it
that in
this way.
somewhere.
Well, Rams, Seahawks, 49ers. Well, Seahawks or Rams really. Sorry, Sandy, but Seahawks or Rams are probably the two teams that are going to go to the Super. One of those two are going to the Super Bowl.
I'm glad I didn't say that because
I will. Maybe the 49. I would say this. The Super Bowl is definitely the Super Bowl National Football Conference contender is coming from the NFC West.
Ooh, that's the way you
I have
can
no
cover all
doubt.
your bases.
I have no doubt about that unless somebody goes on a really improbable run.
Yeah. All right. So now usually I would do your favorite segment of the show, which would be Stump the Godfather. But
Yeah, I'm so sorry we're not.
yeah, it feels like I was a little under the weather, so I just felt I kind of mailed it in, and I'm not kind of happy. Wait a minute, we got some. Bob was saying, let's talk about the moving right along.
Well, on that side, I'm rooting for the Bills, so it doesn't matter. I'm rooting for the Rams if it's the Rams and the Bills, and I'm rooting for the Bills if it's the Seahawks and the Bills.
Yeah, Matt Stafford will be the MVP. Yeah, there you
Well,
go
he
there,
actually
Bob.
will be, according to everybody I hear.
Yeah,
Literally everybody. Sorry, Bob. You guys are doing great this year, no question. You got a great coach, and what's his name? Drake May. Drake May.
yeah,
Uh,
he's the QB. Yeah.
he's great, but the MVP is going to Matt Stafford, and the Super Bowl is going to either Seahawks, Rams, or Bills.
Ooh, that will make like a few years ago, I saw this prediction for I think it was maybe the 2021 or 2020 season, and it said the prediction Super Bowl Bills versus Rams, and I shared that on my Facebook page, and of course Bob Stutz, who's the star of our brand new No BS segment. What I forget which Thursday of the month that is, but anyway, he's a big notorious Bills fan. So I for whatever reason, we won in 2021. So
Yes.
and I've been holding out hope that Super Bowl with the Rams versus the Bills would actually happen.
I'm thinking this year is the year. Very well could. I
Yeah,
think
and
the obstacle the Rams have is the Seahawks. Yeah. Oh, that's right. The unbreakable record. Not a single interception the whole year.
and as I was explaining to Alan, what makes it even more ironic is their head coach actually has, I believe, six pick sixes in his career.
Yeah, he was a good player. He's just a terrible coach, but he was a good player. No question.
All right, Bob.
Bob, they really haven't. They had a turnaround year is what they had. That's it.
Uh,
If they win the Super Bowl, we can talk then.
yeah. Now, I kind of see our guest in the green room, but I don't see his video feed. I just see his name. I don't know if you don't have your video turned. Oh, wait a minute. I thought I saw something there, but because I want you to do your intro, but I want to make sure he's there before That'll be kind of anticlimactic if you say all these great things and then he's not there to hear them. So that wouldn't be good. So I'll just keep an eye out, and if I see his video feed come on, then we will immediately go to our introduction because we actually have somebody who's never been on the show before.
I know. It's a super person.
So we will not do the intro until wait a minute. I see some activity still. I don't. Let me see. He's still there, but his camera seems to be having an issue getting through.
Let me see if he's sending me anything.
Yeah, okay. So in the meantime, let's see what is yeah, Revis Island is underway. Yeah, it's a very but you know what isn't a distant memory? The butt fumble. Gotta love the butt fumble.
Oh yeah. World famed butt fumble.
That's gotta be cool.
What year was that actually?
I was like, I don't know, early 2000s. Something like that.
It's people should just watch the video.
I watch it every now and again.
It's a great video just to watch, just to see it. Is
I mean, he came to a complete stop.
I've never seen anything quite like that. I have to admit. Oh, he says he's online and his video is on.
Okay, it said I see he's entered, but I still don't see his video. That is really weird. Hopefully he can hear this.
I'm texting him now.
You might, if you were on a video conference earlier today, you might want to just close out your browser and then bring it back up, because it may be the case of one of those other video conferencing software is holding on to the
yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah,
Zoom especially,
because I see he's entered it, but I can't see him. So it might be a case of another video conference. It's probably like Teams. Teams is really bad with that.
Yeah, Teams or Zoom. Actually, both of them pretty bad.
Okay, thanks, Alan. 2012. Wow. 14 years ago now.
Wow.
Excuse me. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Okay. So I just sent him a response to him saying he's online and his video is on. We'll try to rejoin. That's what he wrote.
Yeah, it might be a case of, like I said, whatever meeting software. Wait a minute. I keep seeing his name pop up, but nothing else. Let me just try something. Let's see.
All right.
Yeah, nothing.
It's just, so he's having, that's connectivity issues.
Maybe.
That's an actual internet bandwidth problem.
Really?
Yeah, that's what that is.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's not a camera problem. That's a bandwidth problem. Hold on, let me tell him.
Well, while we try to get that worked out, maybe I will do this Stump the Godfather then.
Oh, no.
I was trying to avoid it because it's not really one of my best offerings. I mean, because Sven went all out with it with the
that was
moment of Sven.
That was a magnificent opening to the year. Mongolian and it's Cyrillic. I was so impressed.
It's all Cyrillic to me. Anyway, well, wait a minute. Here we trying it again here.
Well, it's a bandwidth thing. That's the bandwidth. That's connectivity always. It's when we had our glitch earlier, the same thing happened. Exactly that. Now that's to both of us.
Well, I didn't see this. I just saw you frozen.
Yes, you did too. You disappeared. That's a band, but it's not. It's bandwidth at, it's one person's bandwidth usually. Probably was mine in that case. I don't know why, but it's running about 700 megabits per second here.
Yeah. So, Shashi, I don't know if you have somewhere else you could try or another.
If you're working from a laptop, let me send.
And we were really looking for. Wait, he's trying it again. We're still getting the same thing.
Seem to have a bandwidth problem.
Yeah, that's a shame. We'll keep an eye out. Let's see.
I asked him if he can go to another room.
Well, while we're doing that, guess what?
What?
And now it's time for Stump
I hate
Father with the Venerable Paul Greenberg. Brought to you by Microsoft Dynamics.
Man, we really got to update that thing. Anyway, this is a very quick Stump the Godfather. Fueled, and I just literally got this about 40 minutes ago. Fueled by agents, and this is coming from I was going to say reputable, but yeah, it's reputable. A reputable analyst firm, fueled by agents, year-over-year spending on AI is expected to grow by blankety blank blank percent between 2025 and 2029.
So this is year over year, not
Yep,
total.
no, not total, every year. Now it's fueled by agents. Ooh. And Bob is saying there is a bunch of network outages on the East Coast. Oh, really?
Well, that could be one of the reasons.
Maybe that. I don't know where do you know where he's coming in from, or you're? Oh, I guess you're not really on the East Coast.
No, I am. I'm almost.
I mean, you're not like
in the Northeast,
right? Is there bad weather up there?
No, it's warm actually. Warm and kind of nice.
Maybe it's some kind of agent outage.
He says he's been moving around a few times. Now he's rebooting his computer.
Oh, wait. Okay. But if it's a bandwidth, it might not do it.
Yeah, well, you never know. I mean, sometimes when I reboot, it works. It just depends on where it kind of locks.
If he can't get through, then tell him to move around to go to like Kansas, because that's in the middle of.
That's right. Can you hop a plane and get to Chicago?
Yeah. I hear it's very clear out there. Oh man, he's
no outages.
Not having any luck here.
No,
it's really a shame.
We can reschedule him for next week, maybe.
We might have to do something because that's a shame. All right, so it looks like Fed is saying 78% year over year between 2025 and 2029. Bob is saying 25% year over year. So you got a lot of cushion in the middle of that.
What about Alan? You got anything?
Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe the outages are the new Gillette Stadium. Wow.
Spoken like a true AFC person.
Oh, wait, man. Now Bob is amending his answer now. He went up from 25 to 50. So he ate into a big part of your middle cushion there.
That's all right. I'm going to go at the slightly lower end. Only because I'm going to think it'll slow up in the third and fourth years.
So where are you going?
37%.
So we got 37%. We got 50%. And Sven is blazing away at 78%. Alan, you want to take a guess? And let's see. Maybe he doesn't want to take it. All right. You ready to hear the answer? And this is coming from IDC.
Okay.
This is heartbreaking. He still can't get in. All right. The answer to the question of fueled by agents, year-over-year spending on AI is expected to grow blankety blank between 20 and 29, 2025 and 2029. And the answer is 31.9%. Aren't you glad aren't you glad it wasn't just 32%?
Well, actually, my original guess was 32. I upped it slightly. So I would have been actually really close to
that would have been a bullseye then, basically.
Yeah, close, but I upped it, so my bad. But
you're still the closest to anybody here. So.
Well, and look, things mature, and the thing I learned from this can sound really funny in relative terms. I learned one thing from Karl Marx, which is when it came to his book Capital, which was you don't look at the rate of growth, you look at the rate of growth. Meaning, if it grows 40% one year, 80% the next year, and then 84% the next year, the rate of the rate slowing up significantly. And that's how it actually does work. So
why is Alan guessing now that
now. Whoa, Alan, that's amazing. That's amazing. He got hit by the outage.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that damn outage, it would have got there in time.
So I was going with the idea that in 4 years, especially the last couple of years, it's going to slow up because it's maturing. No, it's not going to happen. But I think what we can do, we'll reschedule.
Yeah, at this point, it's kind of hard because it doesn't look like we're progressing. It just looks like the same thing keeps happening.
Yeah, I just he says he's in his office, never had the problem before, and he used Stream Yard all the time.
Ask him where he's located because maybe the problem is just not him. He
Let's
might
see.
be this outage thing.
Well, wait, that's Zendesk's office. So where is it? Headquarters, I assume.
Yeah, Alan. Okay, sure. We believe you. He says his answer was delayed by the outage. Yeah, Alan. Yeah.
Absolutely, sir. No question to us.
By the way,
they're in California.
is that Das Kapital? Is that book?
Yes, it is. That was his economic treatise, right? And he was he wasn't wrong about the capitalism crises in capitalism. He's just wrong about this. His disciples led to the wrong conclusion about what to do about it.
Is that the one he wrote with Frederick Engels, or what's the other one he wrote?
He wrote a bunch of books with Engels. That one was, what's the word? Supported by Engels, but written by him. So it was Engels and
there was another one he wrote that was like really like, was it Das Kapital? There's another book he wrote.
You're thinking of the Communist Manifesto?
That's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, well, that's just effectively a pamphlet. This is a book, and it's actually a fairly substantial economic treatise.
So did Freddie get shortchanged then? Like, shouldn't we give more credit to him?
No. Engels was his collaborator, right? And Engels was smart. He just wasn't Marx. Marx gets the credit for it, but Engels had something to do with it. Philosophically, they got a guy like Feuerbach was his, philosophical arm, so to speak, and was kind of a early Marxist philosopher who was the extension of. He wasn't really a Marxist. That's probably not fair. A leftist version of German critical philosophy, which allied very nicely with Marxism. But Feuerbach, philosophically, Feuerbach was aligned with Marx. Ultimately, even though I don't know that they wrote, deliberately for each other. I don't think they didn't, if I remember correctly. But it's like that where Engels was directly collaborated with him, but Marx wrote it. Okay, wait. Shashi said no. It's really said tested his bandwidth as 300 megabits per second both ways. He's going to have his IT guy take a look. So we'll just do it for next year. I mean
next year. Okay.
He said it's off. Yeah. Okay. So what's the next week is what, the 15th?
I think today is
the what, the 8th?
Yeah, I guess it is the 8th, the 15th. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, while you're handling that, maybe I'll just ask another question because unfortunately we're not going to be able to have our guest on today. But this is the second Thursday of 2026, so it's still very early into the year. Like, what do you want to see this year when it comes to all the stuff that we talk about?
Well, I know what I want to see, but I don't know about what these guys want.
Well, what do you want to see, and what do you think we'll see from the vendors, from like all the industry stuff that
there's going to be a new fad of some kind. I don't know what it is yet, but we had Gen AI 2 years ago, 3 and 2 years ago, and then we had Agentic 2025. That may carry another year or so as it matures a bit, and then something else will come up. I don't know what it is yet. I mean, it's interesting, because the practical uses of agentic and AI, and also just of Gen AI, are growing. And not only that, they've reached on the robotics side, on the consumer side, they've actually reached some. I want to say, I'm not really going to call them maturity, but they've reached fruition, meaning they're being used. Like if you watch these. There are a number of robots that are being shown at CES right now, and where both Kenny Lauer, co-host of Engage with Paul and Kenny, and Ray Wang are at.
It should have been our correspondents.
Yeah, that actually would have been pretty cool. Although
Yeah.
I think it's over as of last night, so that might have been a little hard. Hi, nothing's going on here today. But I've been watching a lot of the the videos of what's being shown, and there's an enormous amount of robots who are somewhat independent. Like one of the big one that was talked about the most, even though it's not really all that advanced yet, is called Cloyd from LG. And it's basically an actual functional personal valet kind of robot. And it will, you say, hey, Cloyd, can you, in effect, it's not quite here yet, but can you cook dinner? It will go and ask you what you want for dinner and cook it. And let's face it, that's agents working. And if it makes a mistake, it can apparently learns enough to be able to fix it. Now, again, I think it's a bit more than a concept right now, but even on the other thing, what I saw, which is really interesting, and it's a very simple use case, but there's a company called Roborock, which makes, RoboVacs. And I actually have one of their RoboVacs. It's fantastic. And they have one, I think it was called like Theros, which hopefully not Thanos, which of course would mean the end of the universe. Would mean the end of the universe from that robot. But one of the things that it did that I'd never seen before, I've seen robot backs go up steps. This thing raises legs and goes up steps.
Wow.
Yeah, and then it folds them back down. But it's very aware from the sensors built in and from its own learning of how these things work. So if you have, they showed this one, I saw it, I didn't see it, I think it was a video being shown at CES, not that actual robot that I saw was being talked about. But the stairwell was obviously had this strange kind of configuration. And the robot, without being told, hey, there's this strange configuration, just figured it out.
Huh.
And again, keep in mind, sensors, you watch these robots do things, they kind of bounce into them before they actually figure them out. In this case, it just didn't do that. So the stairwell was kind of like, it was semicircular, I'll call it. It was kind of a broad circular motion, but it figured it out, right? And it wasn't told, hey, this is a circular stairwell. Now the agents are working, AI is working full time in there. Between sensors and AI learning as it goes, it was amazing. And these are already more than proof of concept. These are products ready to be sold if they're not already out on the market. So there's once you get down to the level where the use cases are consumerized, you realize that when it comes to the bigger, more straightforward kind of process robots or the microservice robots, that these agents just going to become part of life in those years. Once that happens, though, of course, there comes a point where the services become commodities, and then at that point things change. And the rates of growth will slow, and the rates of all those things will happen. But I think we're going to see a lot of that kind of penetration and depth this coming year or two, just because it's already happening, not because I'm making any bold prediction, because I don't make predictions. I think people who make predictions are always wrong. So, I mean, we're basically stating an opinion based on something we think. And if we happen to hit it, we're great. But 9 times out of 10, you don't.
So why? This is a complete just tangent.
That's okay.
But why do you think predictions are capture so many people's attention? Like we all kind of say, oh, we don't like doing predict, but apparently people like predictions for some reason.
I know why. Because it's gambling. It's gambling. Think about gambling, period, man. Right? There you go. That's exactly the kind of stuff. If you watch those things, they're amazing. They're absolutely amazing to watch. CES is really, the AI part of CES this year is rampant, and it's much more than ever before. Anyway, back to predictions. I know exactly why. I mean, think about anytime you place a bet on anything. You're predicting a result that you're hoping for a result that effectively you're hoping that your predicted outcome is what it is, right? It's the same damn thing. You're making a prediction anytime you put anytime you somebody says, okay, I'm going to put $5 on the fact that I'm going to put $500 on the fact that Steph Curry is going to score 30 points. You're predicting, because you're not going to be stupid, you don't think. You're predicting that it's worth your skin in the game to predict it, that Steph Curry is going to hit 30 points that game, right? It's a prediction. It's just may or may not be right. People like that because it's risk and it's interesting. And honestly, when predictions go wrong, which they do all the time, there's very little skin off anyone's game because no one expects them to go right. Like in our world, everyone makes predictions. I stopped making them many years ago deliberately because I realized how stupid it was for me to make them. I was right 80% of the time and wrong 20. And I used to literally qualify at the end of the year. I'd look on how I did, and I tied it to a song lyric or a play in baseball. Like I doubled, so meaning I was kind of close, but I wasn't really there. Or I tripled, I was really close, but didn't quite make it. I hit one out of the park. I nailed it. I struck out. I was really off, et cetera, et cetera. And then I had one line from a song that was appropriate to my screw up or my good. And I was right a lot. But, the reality is they're useless. Nobody in their right mind would say, okay, Gartner predicts or analyst predicts this and that. I am going to bet my company on that. You'd be an idiot to do that. You just take it as a matter of opinion and an interesting possibility, and you watch where things go. And if it seems like it's working like that, and then some analyst or individual said that, talk to them about it a little more and say, why'd you say that? Right? I mean, there's some value in that, which is that if you're monitoring it, but there's no value in placing a single bet on any prediction that anyone makes, including any analyst who we know and might be absolutely right about it, because there's a lot of dice rolling in that.
All right, I have a different perspective on this. Yep. I think in some ways, not saying in always, but there's something about predictions that allows anybody to be a part of a conversation.
Is that?
And sometimes people just want to be a part of the conversation. They don't just want to be a passive spectator. They want to be a part of it. And I'm not talking just completely about predictions. I'm talking about
lists,
or like why people do stuff like reaction videos,
top 10, right?
Or I watch a lot of I don't even know why I do this, but in the like every Sunday there's a ton of games, and I'm just talking about NFL right now. And so traditionally, like at least traditionally from going back a couple of decades, the way you experience a football game, if you aren't going to it, is you're watching it or listening to it on the radio. And that typically meant there was one team, and I'm talking about not an actual football team, announcing team.
Right.
And you had your play-by-play guy, and you had your color analyst or whatever they call them. My favorite of all time would be Summerall and Madden, for example.
Yeah, they were great.
And they were so great because they were able to add another dimension, another perspective to the football watching experience. It's one that we all know we can't be. If you're 5'7" and 200, 150 pounds, for damn sure you're not going to be out there playing football.
Right.
But
unless you're Mercury and Mars.
Yeah. But you listen to Madden and Summerall, and you think you can actually do what they do.
Yeah.
And YouTube allows people to do that.
Oh, of course.
And it's because they've never just wanted to watch the game. They wanted to be a part of the game. They wanted to be a complete aspect of the game. And having the ability to use the technology to do that. I mean, I watched these guys who they in the NFL is actually kind of playing into this, because like for every game, the NFL will put out these videos, like these recap videos of all the important plays. And these people are waiting for that to come out. So they will not watch the game. They'll wait for these like 20-minute recapture of the important plays. They'll wait for that instead of watching the game.
Yeah.
So that they can then act like there's Pat Summerall and John Madden to whatever audience of people that are out there that they can get.
Oh yeah.
And that's to me, that's what happens with all these predictions. There are certain people that are in the AI space. You're gonna listen to Jensen Wong, right? I mean, you're gonna listen to certain people because they're in the game. They're the ones shaping it. But how many other people want to be able to be a part of that conversation?
Oh, everybody. Look, I mean, the thing is, everybody who's even vaguely human wants to be part of something, one way or the other, whatever it may be. It may have nothing to do with our industry. It may have nothing to do with sports, but they want to be part of something, right? And that's the word social exists for that reason, So to your point, I think you're on the money with it. I mean, when you do top 10 lists and predictions and all these other things, you may actually have no foundation for doing it. I mean, look, the difficulty with all of these things is how valid is your thinking, really? I mean, how valid is the person issuing the prediction or the lists thinking about it? It's not that they issued a prediction, but what basis do they have to issue that prediction? It's, why did you come to that conclusion? Ultimately, look, when I mentor people, one of the things I've always told every young person I've ever mentored, which was, look, you can say anything you want to say, but be prepared to defend everything you say, right? Everything you say. And so then the reality is that, when somebody makes a prediction, if somebody doesn't care to look beyond what they're saying, well, that allows that person who's making the prediction or issuing the list to be a valid authority, quote unquote. Right. Yeah. Look at JR. Thanks, JR. Thank you. I'm almost there.
Sorry, I saw that. I couldn't.
No, I was working it. That's the man with the flu too. The brain is still there. That's for sure. It's clear as a bell, man.
Now, like Alan, this is a part of it. You're right. People want to be a part of it so that they can actually make a living off of it. I mean, you're talking about analysts, but I'm talking about people I don't even know that do these NFL reaction videos. They're also, well, you can follow my Patreon for more analysis.
Yeah, you just pay $3.99 a month.
I mean, I will never ever do that for anybody, but they want to find ways. And I'm not saying that I'm different or I'm better. They're looking to find ways to be involved to the point where they can actually make a living at what they really want to do. And that's why I think a lot of these predictions, most of these predictions about AI, probably about 8 out of 10 are going to be almost the same. And so it's not like anybody is coming up with, well, not like most people are coming up with really interesting things. It's just another way to get to be a part of the overall. And then, like Alan was talking about, sell your little knowledge, or your maybe you have a unique perspective, but it's hard to get that out there unless you connect it to the broader thing. And it just feels like that's technology is allowing people to do that because they've always wanted to do that, but they never found a way to be able to do that at scale, like what these platforms have allowed them to do.
Ultimately, it all goes down to why influencers even exist, which is people want to feel important in some way, right? And that's fine, but don't do it at the expense of truth or content or reality, though. But people do that. They don't care that. They just look. It's like people who make accusations are the same thing, right? They're just crazier about it. When somebody's making a prediction, again, there's a certain amount of people are interested in because somebody's theoretically doing something that has some risk. But the reality is there's no risk at all making a prediction, because nobody is seen as, you really screwed up that one. Right. Nobody even remembers your prediction by the end of the year, and nobody even cares about it by the middle of the year. Right. So Uh,
I don't even know what that means, but
that's the company he wants to create. He's kidding.
hemp AI.
AI.
Jeez.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the more tawdry version of that.
Okay.
So, but the thing is that, you know, there's no risk in somebody putting out a list, and people have their own. You know, it's like that thing where did you ever hear that saw where people say they're happy to listen to your list, but they're just really waiting for the time they can tell you theirs. Right. Basically you're paying the cost you're paying for being able to say your list is listening to someone else's, you know, those kind of things. That's an actual thing that I've heard said a lot, which is, you know, people will communicate with you because they really just want to say what they want to say, but they'll talk to you so they can wait till you're done and then they can say what they want to say. Right. It's the same thing. You know, you have somebody out there has a top 10, blah, blah, blah. You know, and what do you read underneath the comments? Oh, that's stupid. How did they leave off so-and-so? Blah, blah. And it's on and on and on about people complaining about the list. Nobody says, hey, wow, that's a great list. Right? Because nobody cares about that list other than what their list is. Their own
Yeah,
list.
exactly. So they'll piggyback off of that to put theirs out. And hope
yet
that
the list may be coming from, well, not anymore, obviously, but John Madden and some kid who's 14 is telling you his top 10 list and saying, oh, Madden, that was stupid. Guess what? Madden's probably got a lot more foundation to make that list than you do, 14-year-old child. Right.
Yeah, but the 14-year-old child wants to leverage Madden's community, his soapbox opportunity to move whatever amount of people he can over to him. So that he
that's the thing.
There's no other thing that he can get.
No other thing he cares about either.
That's that I think the unfortunate thing is a lot of the technologies. That's how people use these technologies. It's not really to improve themselves. It's more to how can I get my message out, you know, more and more into a wider and broader audience.
And you know what? That's fine, but the message has to have content, not just be there to make you feel that you're important and famous. Right. It needs to provide something that benefits somebody else. And again, with the recognition that no matter what we're talking about here, it's all an opinion. Every bit of it is your opinion. You know, it's funny when I was doing the pairing of the bourbon and donuts last year for IRL 2025. Originally, I was just going to take the 5 donuts, take the 5 bourbon, and figure out the 5 bourbons that would pair. But I went to 5 AIs instead and asked them what the story was, what did they think would work. And then people who, when I was telling people that story, they would all say to me, well, what'd you do? Take the ones that all 5 AIs had in common? And I said, no, actually not. If it was humans, given that each of them had a different experience leading up to their decisions on these things, I would have done that. But AIs are drawn from the same damn sources, right? So I took all the outliers instead, right? Which is the exact opposite. But that's what I'm saying. It's the same kind of thing, which is, you know, to your point earlier, 90% of the things you hear are the same over and over and over. But the person who's saying them has a purpose that is make me famous. Maybe I'm just, look, I had a guy once years ago who literally took a presentation on PowerPoint presentation I did. And he was from Bulgaria and he stole it, just straight out stole it and used it straight out. No attribution, nothing. It's something he was doing. So I popped him a note and said, hey, you know, I didn't really care that much, but I wanted to see what his story was. So he said, hey, blah, blah, blah. You know, I told him, it's mine. You didn't even attribute it to me. He sent me a note back saying, oh, I'm so sorry, but that's how we do it in Bulgaria.
That's the Bulgarian
way.
I
thought that was so funny. I just let it slide completely. Right? I just said it was the funniest thing I'd ever heard. But again, the guy, you know, if you're looking at it on the face of it, the guy literally just stole the presentation so he could use it for himself. Right? So people do that, you know, and at a certain point, you wish them the best and hope that, because the problem is they have no way to defend what you wrote.
Yeah.
Right. So ultimately, people are out there basically being motivated by being a name unto themselves. When other people became a name because they were providing such good quality things, and they weren't motivated by being a name. They were motivated by education and teaching and helping and doing the things. Well, perfect example, our lidded buddy, right? Michael Wu is a perfect example of that. He became a name because he had so much to provide and present that was of value to people that people just wanted to hear more of him.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people, I never want to say most. I think, going back to the kind of the football analogy, people love football. And I think if they could play football for a living, that would be the ultimate high for them. Some people love football so much, but they can't play, and they never will be able to play.
That would be me.
They find ways to still be a part of it.
See,
And this technology has made it easier for a larger group of those kind of people to be a part of it in such a way that at some point the goal of being a part of it becomes more important than bringing value to it.
Oh, that happens all the time. You look at the sports podcasters, right? They're perfect examples of that. I mean, half of them are just people spouting off. Others provide really both unique and entertaining and intelligent content, or minimally edgy content, which has some actual value, though. One became a big time player was John Boy Media. The guy was just basically a big mouth New Yorker when it started, but now he's actually a significant media presence, and he's actually good at it, right? Again, can get typical nasty, but on the whole, he gets a lot of really good stuff because people bought into it, and but he started out as basically just a big mouth guy spouting on X and YouTube and places like that. Same thing. Anyway, it's about that time, even though not quite the show we were planning to launch the new year.
But that's all right. Hopefully we'll be able to get Shashi back and just give people a little bit of who Shashi is, and hopefully we'll be able to get him on next week.
Yeah, I won't give the full introduction, but let's say this. I've known Shashi since the early 2000s, or the mid 2000s. And to be exact, actually, when did we start CRM Idol? 2010 or 2011?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think 2011. 2011. He had been the CEO of this company that was using AI before AI was a thing. It was predictive. It was using AI for predictive marketing and highly personalized marketing. And it was a brilliant company called Lattice Engines, which had been owned by Sequoia. And the guy from Sequoia asked me to go meet this guy. I'm not going to go through. I'll save it for the full introduction when the time comes. But let's just say he was a terrific CEO. Lattice Engine got acquired by Dun & Bradstreet, and he became an executive VP over there. And now he's president of product with 2,000 people reporting to him over at Zendesk. And he's a phenomenal person. He's a wonderful human being. I'll talk more with a couple more stories when we talk to him next week, I hope. But this is going to be a good one. He's, again, humble, sweet, wonderful guy. You'll love him.
And a first-time guest.
Yes, and knows his stuff.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there for the current time. I want to make sure I'm in good physical condition to watch the game tonight.
Oh, that's right. What is the?
It's the U versus Ole Miss.
Oh. Hey, when's Indiana play?
That's tomorrow night.
Oregon, right?
So tonight is Mississippi State in the U, and then tomorrow night is Indiana, Oregon.
That is going to be a hell of a game, although I think Indiana is going to win it. But I keep forgetting Oregon's Big Ten.
Yeah,
that doesn't make no sense to me.
I'd like to keep forgetting that kind of.
Yeah, that's astounding. Look, the Big Ten, this SEC, and then Big Ten. With the Big Ten, moving up fast, but it's the Big 18 now, right? So, which is ridiculous.
Well, no, the most ridiculous is how Cal and I believe Stanford are part of the ACC.
I know.
They are literally on the Pacific Ocean.
I know. The other ocean, literally on the exact
It does
opposite
not
side
make
of-
any sense.
None of these do. It's the ones that have the money. That's pretty much it.
Excuse me. And on that note,
Um,
we will see you next week. So I was going to say on behalf of, but just
on behalf of all those who make predictions and succeed or fail at them,
I'm Brent Leary.
I'm Paul Greenberg.
We are the CRM players, and just like we've done for, I don't know, well, when did we
Several
start?
years now.
Yeah, it wasn't the full 17, but it's been quite a number of years since we made Minnie our official, what do we call her?
Mascot. No, our
Yeah.
official partner.
Yeah, mascot is like, nah,
Yeah, no, our partner.
there she is. And she will continue to be that.
And her owner, Ann Chen, will be at IRL 2026.
Maybe you will too.
Save your mini questions for her there.
All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.